Hey there, future grandmasters and chess champions. Welcome back to the Chess Summer Camp. I am your host Adrit Shamanto, and today we are diving into one of the coolest and most powerful tricks in chess, the fork. Now, when I say fork, you might think of something you eat with, and in chess, it's kind of similar. A chess fork is when one of your pieces attacks two or more of your opponent's pieces at the exact same time. It's like your piece has little prongs reaching out to grab multiple targets. Why this is so powerful? Because your opponent usually can't save both pieces. They have to choose which one to save, and you get to capture the other one. That means you win material. You get a free piece. Awesome, right? Let's start with the absolute master of the fork, the knights. Remember how the knight moves in that special L shape. That unique movement makes them super tricky forking machines. Let's look at an example. Take a look at this position. White to move. Can you spot how white's knight on d5 can attack two black pieces at once? Remember, the knight moves two squares in one direction and then one square perpendicular. Did you see it? If the knight moves to c7, it forks the white black's king and rook. It attacks the black king on e8 and rook on a8. The king is in check, so black has to move the king out of check. When the king moves like this, the rook on d8 is left undefended, and you can capture it. That the classical king and rook fork. You just won a whole rook. Now don't underestimate the humble pawn. Even these little guys can create powerful forks. Now take a look at this. White White's pawn on d4 is sitting pretty. Remember, pawns attack diagonally forward. Can this pawn attack two of black pieces at the same time? You got it. If your pawn moves to means takes e5, it is actually a fork. You will say the bishop can take it, but you get a free bishop. The knight can take the bishop, so you get a whole free bishop. Now, queen forks. The queen is the strongest piece, so imagine her forking power. She can attack in all directions. Here, the queen on here the queen on e1 can attack black's two pieces. Can you find it? Yes, you got it. e5. It checks the king and also attacks the bishop. The king has to move to get out of the check, so you can take the bishop. And after this, you can checkmate with a queen and a king, right? Rook now, rook forks. Rooks move in the straight lines, so they love to fork pieces lined up on a rank or file. This rook on a5 attacks both the knight and the bishop on the same file. Can you find it? Yes, you are right. Rook to e8 checks the king and attacks the bishop. The king moves to get out of the check, and you take the bishop. You take the bishop, right? Now bishop forks. Bishops move on diagonally, perfect for catching pieces on the same diagonal. So you can see the black's king and knight is on the same diagonal. So white's bishop moves to d6. So it checks the king and also catches the knight. So now the king has to move and you catch the knight. And it is a draw because of insufficient materials. You can't checkmate with only one bishop or one knight. Now, so how do you find these awesome forks in your games? Here are a few tips. Look for L shapes for knights. Always check if your knights can jump to a square that attacks two or more enemy pieces. Check for loose pieces. Are any of your opponent's pieces undefended or not very well defended? Those are prime targets for a fork. Look for alignments. Are two or more of your opponent's pieces lined up on a rank, file, or a diagonal? Your rooks, bishop, or queen might be able to fork them. Think about forced moves. If one of the pieces you are attacking is the king, your opponent has to move the king, opponent leaving the other forked piece helpless. Alright, it's time for your challenge. Look at this position carefully. This is the puzzle of the day. Can you find and black to move? Can you find the black's move? Forking two pieces? Yes, you are right. Black's move is to knight to f7, forks the king and the queen. So white has to move his king and you take the queen. You have just learned about the super powerful tactic of the fork. Remember, it's when one piece attacks two or more pieces at the same time, helping you win material. Then, the more you practice, the better you will get at spotting these opportunities in your own games. So, next time you play, keep your eyes peeled for those sneaky forks and fork them up. That's it for today's lesson. Join me next time for more summer camp chess video. And don't forget to practice and keep those chess brains sharp. See you soon.